welcome to Tarot Tats and Tea on this beautiful, bright and sunny autumnal morning. It's Friday and we're ready to slide on nice and peacefully into the weekend. I'm here to share with you two decks that I managed to find whilst on holiday in Spain last week. And to my surprise, we found this lovely little shop that sold tarot decks, and my hubby said, go on, pick a couple. So that's what I did. The first one that I picked up was an RWS, and it's an RWS a deck by Corrado Roy and Sasha Graham. It is the dark side of tarot. I have not really in the past been partial to black and white decks. However, for some reason I picked this up, I had a look at it and I thought, I actually like it. Let's have a look at it. It comes with the little white book as usual, and the cardstock is your standard Lo Scarabeo cardstock. That's who produced it, Lo Scarabeo, and those are the backs. The cards are no nonsense, okay? They're no frills, no colour, very little symbolism, which enables you to focus directly on the actual card itself and not on all the fluffiness that goes around it. However, I'm not saying that all cards have fluffiness. I like symbols, I like colour, I love symbols and colour. It gives you so much more to work with. But this really does make you focus on the real basics, foundation, nuts and bolts of the tarot card. This is looking at the darker side of tarot. For this particular card, it really stands out to me that there's no light in that church windows. We can say the white is the light, that they're in the darkness. We have the cold of the snow, but without the warm yellow glow from the window, it also gives a feeling of sort of a lack of caring, sterile environment. Although we have the poor and the sick here, there's the cold and the dark, but the lack of warmth coming from here. We've always said, or I have, if you turn that card upside down, it becomes a door for you to enter for help, or peering through the window, there's help there, the light is on to draw you. That is more like the sterility of, if that even a word, of, say, a convent. Come in, we'll help you because we have to type of attitude. It's sort of telling me that in this particular instance, we have to learn to help ourselves. I don't know, that's what I get from that card. I could be wrong. Let's see what they've written about the Five of Pentacles here in their little white book. This will be interesting to hear. Poverty, lack, need, shadow, giving up, dark night of the soul, challenges lay ahead, all appears lost. The dark Five of Pentacles forge ahead, while lost in thought, they are immune to discomfort. Are you? For me, I can get all that, I can see that, but I don't see the immunity of discomfort on the faces, albeit they're not totally full of expression. There's that, put it this way, if they had a paper round as a child, it would have been all uphill from the look of the faces. They've had to struggle through their life to the point that it's not that they're happy about discomfort, it's a case of that they have to learn to live with it and move on and help themselves. And that's sometimes how we can all be left feeling. So if we were to take, let's have a look, our Five of Pentacles from our coloured deck, and let's just quickly find that. I should have actually had that ready, but I didn't envisage going too deep into one card. It's just showing as an example as to how the cards can be read or felt. Like I say, I've never really been drawn to black and white decks. The only other black and white deck I have is Murder of Crows, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that's also created by Corrado Roy. So it was Five of Pentacles I was looking for. Come on, where are you? You can more or less guarantee that this will be the last card in the deck. I should actually start from the bottom and work my way up. second last. So if we look here, the colour in the window is saying, come on, knock on the door, there's help here. The light's on, we're at home. You know, we're here to help you if you need it. You only have to ask. This one's saying the light is on but nobody's home. Walk on, because right now you have to do things for yourself. So see how you can pick up so much on a different colour, the deck's different colour. Look at the lovers here. Lovers, estranged lovers. This one I find is that little bit more, well, you know, he's not looking as flustered or as battle worn as in the coloured cards. So this is saying, you know, yes, it's been a hell of a struggle, but you're nearly there. You're closer than you think. There's not that too much way to go yet. A similar sort of thing with the Nine of Swords as there would be in the colour one. And as we go, I won't go through the whole deck, but just show you that this is really looking at the shadower side of tarot, highlighting it. It's almost like reading a heap of reversals to a degree, maybe not, but it's showing that side that we often find difficult. That people, you know, I say often find difficult. Sometimes people can find it difficult to read reversals or see that the card has both a positive and a negative side to it, you know. And if we're going to read just uprights, which I have a tendency to do, then we have to, when we're reading, take both of those aspects into consideration. Whereas this deck says, look, you need to address these issues, and it's down to you to address them, you know. Things aren't always going to be happy and light and everyone on hand to help you. There are going to be times when in that darker time of our life, we have to lift our heads up and say, do you know, I've got this, I can do this, I just need to keep on going, you know. So that's the sort of vibe, as you can see, that I got from this deck. Do I find it a negative deck? No, I find it is a deck that makes us look at us. It's almost like pathwork. It gives us that key to look at ourselves and find out why something irritates us, or find out what our next step is, or shows us it's time to stand up on our own 2 feet. That people aren't always going to be there to lift us out of the quagmire. And I actually like that. I like this deck. It sort of gives you a very harsh kick in the posterior. Now, the other deck I have is at complete odds to this dark side of tarot, and it's the Tarot of the Little Prince. Now, I was drawn immediately just to the box, to the cover. I just thought, there's something really nice about this. There's something positive about this. So I got back to the hotel we were staying at. I thought, I have to open this one pretty much straight away. Now, I had heard of this deck in the past, but I'd never ever given it much of a thought, to be honest. In fact, to be honest, I'd never really looked at it. However, when I got this home and saw the artwork, and I thought, you know, this is really a lovely deck. This again, it's again the people that produced it are Lo Scarabeo. It's created by Rachel Paul and Martina Rossi, and it's the standard cardstock, standard size, and those are the backs. Okay, now, when I first saw this, I thought, wow, it's like very mixed, you know. The artwork on it is really, really lovely. For instance, look at our Six of Wands, you know. Our Queen of Swords. The colours are beautiful, and the expressions on the faces are quite something else. Even the dark rings around the eyes. Look at our Strength card here. There's a gentleness in that Strength card. It's an inner strength. You can be gentle, you can be kind, you can be caring, but all those aspects of our personality often comes from our own inner strength, because sometimes we might not want to feel kind or caring or gentle. We might want to go out and box the neighbour in the blooming eye, but we can't. Remember our kindness, our gentle, our tolerance for others, and be that person, be that card. Look at the death card. Isn't this very different to the traditional death card in tarot? We have a snake here. We have bones. Has the snake bitten this person who died? And look at the rose and the sky. All the stars in the sky are creating the constellation. The constellation is creating a rose image. It's really beautiful. So when I got this, I thought, what is the actual theme? Yes, it's called The Little Prince, but what is this little prince? So I came home, put the deck away, thought I'll look at this when I get home, and then I discovered that there's a book, a story of the Little Prince, and this is the story that this deck is based on. So I did no more than seek out the book, The Little Prince. It's only a small little book. It's an older story, but it's one that is filled with a lot of hidden messages. Let's have a look at the blurb on the back. The Little Prince. The Little Prince is a classic tale of equal appeal to children and adults. On one level, it is the story of an airman's discovery in the desert of a small boy from another planet. The Little Prince of the title and his stories of intergalactic travel, while on the other hand it is a thought-provoking allegory of the human condition. Like I say, it's only short, a few chapters in it, and the images in here match the images in the cards, and I thought to myself, well, I will read this and then this deck will make a lot more sense than it does. Now, I've seen that some of the pages and some of the kings look younger than the pages, but that's sort of getting in touch with that inner child. As adults sitting in a role of responsibility, sometimes we might think, what the hell did I do taking on this massive role? And we sort of call to our inner child, how did we manage things in the past? What tasks we had? Any problems we managed to surmount? How did we do it? And draw on the strength and confidence of yesteryear. Look at the Seven of Wands. So the pictures are very, very different to what we would see in our traditional tarot. I will read the story before I actually start working with this deck, because background information will be an absolute godsend. The Seven of Pentacles fits with our Seven of Pentacles, watching what we have sort of planted grow, ideas, seeds, tasks, challenges, taking on challenges in our progress, So, like I say, some of the cards, many of the cards, you can understand why they are, but there are some images and you think, why has this been used here? And that's where I feel I'll find my answers in this book. So, those are the two decks. I won't go right through the entire deck, just give a quick flash through there. And yeah, this is the Tarot of the Little Prince. Okay. Oops. I will do a deeper review on this once I've read the book, once I know exactly what I'm talking about, what the theme is, and whether I feel I will use them as tarot or meditation cards, or cards that are there for their art. I was just drawn to this box, and I think I will potentially read with this in the future, but right now I need to understand the story. Now, besides that, random acts of kindness. I have been extremely lucky this last week. I shall just pop this book over here. Sorry, my Little Prince book with the deck. I had a number of people out of the blue be so kind. I met my husband and I were out watching a rugby match whilst on holiday. It was the Ireland v South Africa match, and a lady joined us, asked could she come and sit down and watch the match, and of course we could. We got talking, and she was from the other side of Ireland, or on the west coast, and we were talking, and I was saying, oh, I have roots in the west of Ireland, and it was lovely. And we swapped addresses because we aim to meet up for coffee when we next visit on the west. And in the post yesterday, this arrived. When the Heavens Deny. This is a story all about the west of Ireland, and it's one that is going to make me understand what life was like in the early in the sort of 1800s, etc. This is actually a sequel to a book called Only the Stones Never Die, so I might look at getting that before I read this. I'm eager to get on with this. I'll just read the blurb on the back. After the Clew Bay boating disaster of 1894, Achill Island, Westport, and the whole of Ireland are hit with a tuberculosis epidemic. 12,000 people are dying annually from the disease, and the funeral bells toll every 10 minutes. Selfless doctors and nurses are battling this enemy with little means. Dr. Charles Leo Birmingham, Westport medical officer, is one who takes a particular stance to fight the tubercle bacillus. As well as tuberculosis, puerperal fever is causing the death of young mothers-to-be on Achill Island. District Nurse Mary Lee is summoned to Achill and is just as determined as Dr. Charles to make a difference and to end the suffering that is taking place. Follow her recent heartbreak. Feisty Tatty Hoker, Kate Grealis, is awaiting the birth of her first baby and feels the immense weight of suffering around her. When a mysterious man arrives to the island, Kate begins to question everything. So that is one book that I'm going to be reading and enjoying. I know it's nothing to do with tarot, but that was just sent to me from this lovely lady, Jill, in Westport. Now, I have a bicycle, as you all know. I often talk about it. It's bright red. It has hippie flowers on the mud guards and the chain guard, and I'm often seen cycling up and down the town, very eccentrically, yet I enjoy it. I don't mind what other people see or feel or think. I'm happy. I'm enjoying it. I have since I joined up. It's a Pedego. It's an American bike, and there's only one dealer here. I think he's actually stopped dealing in them now. I'm not sure because I haven't seen them on his website. But I ordered a bike during the pandemic, and I joined up the Pedego owners page where we share photographs of places we've cycled to. It's an electric bike, so I do manage to get further than I would if I was cycling a bike that's not electric. In fact, I wouldn't be able to because of my hips. However, that's another story. And we share pictures, and like I say, we cannot get accessories for these bikes here, you know, of that Pedego range, because you'd need to ship them from America and it would cost an arm and a leg. A box arrived at my house again this week once I got back from holiday, and it was filled with all Pedego goodies from a gentleman by the name of Ted Dooley, who really is, as he says, chief of fun on the page. And it was just such a random act of kindness that I just cannot thank both Jill and Ted for just being there. And, you know, they both arrived at a time when I wasn't feeling the best. I was a little bit concerned. My mum was going in for surgery, and my kids and life, and it just seems to get you a little bit down sometimes. And these arrived, and I thought, you know, I've met one online, and the other one I've met whilst on holiday, and our paths were meant to cross for a reason, and I hope I can return that kindness in the very near future. I just thought it was lovely. So I thought I'd share with you what I've bought, books I'm going to read, and random acts of kindness, because I think these random acts of kindness, people that actually carry out these random acts, I know they're doing it out of kindness, but I don't know if they always know just how much of an impression or how much of a positive effect that can have on a person's life. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's shown me kindness, and I hope that when I do things for others, that I'm making people feel how I have felt this last week, because, do you know, it was brilliant. So take care, everyone. I look forward to catching up with you all again soon. I'll be doing some other videos and getting people on here shortly to meet up and have a chat live. So do take care. It's lovely being back from my holiday, getting back to normal, and doing my thing. Have a good day. Bye now.